Welcome to my YouTube channel Wise Whispers, where silence speaks. My name is Taylor, and I am 64 years old. At my age, I believed I had already seen every kind of betrayal life could offer. I had survived losing my wife, facing financial struggles, and raising my son alone. But I never imagined that the deepest betrayal would come quietly, while I was asleep in my own home. It happened on an ordinary evening. I remember feeling unusually tired that night. The winter air outside was cold, and the house was quiet. My son Michael and his wife Rachel had been living with me for a few months while they got back on their feet, as they said. I didn't mind helping them. After all, Michael was my only son. That evening we had dinner together. Rachel smiled politely, and Michael talked about looking for better job opportunities. Everything seemed normal. "Dad, you should get some rest," Michael told me. "You look tired." He was right. I had spent the whole day fixing things around the house. "Good night," I said before heading to my room. I placed my wallet on the small table beside my bed, just like I had done every night for years. I never imagined that simple habit would become the center of a painful discovery. Within minutes, I was asleep. But sometime in the middle of the night, something strange happened. I woke up briefly, not fully, just enough to notice a faint sound coming from the hallway. Footsteps, soft and careful. At first, I assumed it was Michael going to the kitchen for water. I didn't think much about it and closed my eyes again. Morning arrived quietly. Sunlight filtered through the curtains, and I slowly got out of bed. I grabbed my wallet and went to the kitchen to make coffee. Rachel was already there, scrolling through her phone. "Good morning, Taylor," she said with a bright smile. "Morning," I replied. Nothing about her behavior seemed unusual. She hummed softly while making toast. But something strange happened later that afternoon. My phone buzzed with a notification from my bank. Transaction alert, $1,200 purchase. My heart skipped. I hadn't bought anything. At first, I assumed it was some kind of mistake, maybe a delayed charge from a previous purchase. But then another notification appeared. Transaction alert, $800 purchase. And then another, $650. I felt my stomach tighten. Within minutes, I had lost more than $2,500. My hands trembled as I quickly called the bank. The customer service representative spoke calmly. "Sir, it appears your card information was used online late last night," she explained. "Last night," I repeated. "Yes, around 2:14 a.m. That was the moment my mind returned to the faint footsteps I had heard in the hallway. A cold feeling spread through my chest. Someone had used my credit card information while I was sleeping. But who? I immediately cancelled the card. The bank assured me they would investigate the suspicious transactions. Still, the question lingered in my mind all day. That evening, Michael left the house to meet a friend. Rachel stayed home. She seemed unusually nervous. She kept checking her phone and avoided eye contact. That was when something else caught my attention. A brand new shopping app notification popped up on the tablet she had left on the couch. Curiosity made me glance at the screen. My heart dropped. The purchase history showed the exact same amounts that had been charged to my credit card. $1,200, $800, $650. The name on the account wasn't mine. It was Rachel's. For a moment, I just stared at the screen. My mind struggled to accept what I was seeing. Rachel had copied my credit card information while I was asleep. The betrayal cut deeper than I expected. This wasn't just about money. It was about trust. I quietly returned the tablet to the couch before she noticed. Then I sat in my chair, thinking carefully. Anger rushed through me at first. I wanted to confront her immediately. But instead, I decided to do something different. I waited. That night when Michael returned home, I called both of them into the living room. "I need to talk to you," I said calmly. Rachel shifted nervously. "What's wrong?" Michael asked. I placed a printed bank statement on the table. Someone used my credit card last night, I said. Michael looked shocked. What, that's terrible. Rachel stayed silent. Then I placed the tablet beside the statement. With the exact same purchases. The room fell silent. Rachel's face turned pale. Michael looked at her confused. Rachel, he said slowly. She couldn't speak. Finally, tears filled her eyes. I'm sorry, she whispered. Michael stood up in disbelief. You stole from my father, he said. I didn't mean to, she cried. We needed money and I thought I could pay it back before anyone noticed. Her voice broke. I looked at her quietly. Rachel, I said, you didn't just take money, you broke trust. Michael ran a hand through his hair, clearly devastated. I can't believe this, he said softly. Rachel began crying harder. I was desperate, I didn't know what else to do. For a moment no one spoke. Then I sighed. The bank will reverse the charges, I said calmly, but the real damage isn't financial. Rachel looked up at me with red eyes. I know, she whispered. Michael sat down slowly. Dad, I'm so sorry. I shook my head gently. You don't need to apologize for someone else's choices. But I also knew something had to change. Rachel, I said firmly, trust in this house must be earned again. That will take time. She nodded silently. I understand. That night was uncomfortable and quiet, but something important had happened. The truth had come out. And sometimes the truth, no matter how painful, is the only way to rebuild what has been broken. Even now, when I think back to that night, I remember the sound of those quiet footsteps in the hallway. A small sound that revealed a big betrayal. But it also reminded me of something important. Trust is fragile. And once broken, it takes honesty, responsibility, and time to repair. Moral of the story. Trust is more valuable than money. Once it is broken, rebuilding it requires honesty, accountability, and genuine change.